what's going on, guys? So I'm looking at this story about an Atlanta spa shooting that occurred yesterday, and I'm sure it was reported yesterday, or maybe even just reported today. But I'm looking at this stuff, right? And obviously, my focus on this channel is taking these news stories and applying numerology and gematria. Gematria is the practice of coding letters and numbers, well, letters and words into numerical values. And I also examine the numbers in the story. So, like things like this, like, one person was 33 years old. We always see that a lot. We see a lot of these numbers. 44 is like a kill number. 54 and 49 can be tied to multiple things. All these numbers can be tied to multiple things. But as I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm doing this in lifetime, so just bear with me because I don't want to lose people. So I open up the date calculator, and we get the numerology for the shooting, and I noticed right off rip, 61 is a number that is associated with active shooters, and I also looked at the days left in the year. Now there's 289 days left in the year, and 289 is the square root of 17, and this happened on the 17th of March. So that's the first interesting point that I seen. But also, the word kill equals um, 17 as well. But notice active shooter 61 on the 61 date numerology at the top right here. And 61 is also the 18th prime number. Let me click into this. 61 is also the 18th prime number, and the word spa sums to 18. So I found that pretty interesting. Um, 191 is the 43rd prime number, and 43 is the 14th prime number. I believe there's a 14 date numerology. 43 is the 14th prime number, okay. And, yep, there is. There's a 14 date numerology. 3 plus 1 plus 7 plus 2 plus 1 yields 14. Now, I'm sure there's more to all this. Spa shooting, for instance, is 53, which is the 16th prime number. If you don't want to take my word for it, you can look it up. But it is the 16th prime number, and we have a 16 date numerology. So I don't know if that's a life lesson number or a life path, or I don't really know how to read that yet. But I think the 25, I think the second one down is like the life lesson number. Pretty sure. But getting back to this reporting, uh, it's obviously a hate crime involving Asians. So let's examine this. Let's just look together. And look at that. Active shooter, 74, and one of the people was 33 years old. So if you know anything about anything with this work, Christ was crucified at 33, and Jesus, Lucifer, Gospel, Messiah, parables, they all sum to 74. So they always pair these numbers together. There's always a number combination, multiple number combinations that, reveal symbolic stuff to the people who, are running the show, I guess you would say. But, so yeah, I seen that. Sorry for taking a left turn. But let's just look at some of the stuff, right? So the stories about hate crimes, right? Hate crimes. Now there might not be anything that matches, but there might be. And again, look, 61 on a 61 date numerology. There you go. There you go. And 61 is the 18th prime. The hate crime happened at a spa. That is interesting. Wow. 47. 15th prime. 169 has a square root of 13. 13 involves death. I mean, there's a lot of things to look at and examine here. There's so much going on, too. You could say, again, I'm just making my observations and what I think and see. after acquiring this knowledge. It doesn't necessarily mean this is what is going on, but I mean, you got to stop and ask yourself, like, okay, the numbers are matching up. This is equal in this. You know, what are the odds of this guy coming on YouTube and syncing all this stuff up? It's not like I'm just like making up these things. I'm taking what basically the news is giving us. So, and I'm just applying gematria and numerology. So 53, that's interesting. 53, again, the 16th prime number. Hmm. And it's involving the Asian people. So let's see what that equals. Because I don't know what that equals off the top of my head. Some people do. I don't. Asian. Well, would you look at that? In the most pure cipher, Asian is 17. And we were just talking about how, the days left in the year. 289 has a square root of 17. So how perfect, right? How perfect. Sometimes this stuff is too perfect. The stuff is involving death. 3 plus 17 is 20. And one of the people in the story is 44 years old, just to confirm that. Da Yu Feng, 44. But to go back to what I was originally saying, um, I forgot what I was originally saying. I forgot what I was saying. I'm sure it's not too important. Uh, but you take these key words from these stories. Look at that, 18. 61 date numerology. 61 is the 18th prime. The stories involving Asians. It's also about racism. Stop Asian hate, right? I would imagine it's about racism. So to see that 99, that 99, here we go. So that's why it's important to study this stuff, because if you don't study it, you're not going to be able to make the connections. Now look at this. Racism and Asian have overlaps in 3 out of the 4 base ciphers. The only cipher it doesn't have an overlap is the full reduction, the blue cipher, the dark blue cipher. Imagine that. So when you look at this stuff, I mean, are they contriving the news? Because that's what it really feels like, It really feels like when I look at this stuff, they are contriving the news. And, it goes deeper than just the numbers. The numbers are a real big thing. But, like, even the coding of some of these people's names is, like, so deep. 41, the 13th prime. Asian is 91, which is the 13th square root. Right? 91 is the square root of 13, right? I want to make sure I'm giving proper information. It's the 13 triangular, sorry. But it's just like the way that all the stuff matches up, it's almost unbelievable. And it's like, well, is it a computer doing that, or, what's the story, right? We're all trying to figure it out. We are all trying to figure it out. 131 is the 32nd prime number. There is a 32 date numerology on the bottom, but I don't know. Some people say that the bottom half is, not as important. Oh, I remember what I was talking about now before I forgot. The 20. So, the 20. Death has to do with 20. 25 date numerology. You know? Death, RIP, 25, 20, 43. The 14th prime number, 14 date numerology. I'm sure it goes a lot deeper than all this. And then they give us this guy's name, Mr. Long, 21. Huh. They don't give like an actual name, but he's obviously 21, right? And I'm seeing the story on the 18th, so today has a 21 date numerology, 3 plus 18. But it's also happening in the year 2021. So, you know, I mean, if they give the guy his first name, I probably could, figure something out a little more than that. But look at this. This is crazy. All right, so see the 34. Well, that chick, it didn't type in down here, but the one who's 33 years old, Ashley Yawn, her name sums to 139, which is the 34th prime number. And this guy, 34. But just so you guys can see it, because seeing is believing. So you guys see the 34, obviously. So the name they gave us. But look at this chick's name. And I swear, this is how they do it all the time. Like, you can always find something match. There's never something that doesn't match. That's the crazy part. And I also seen the 49. See the 49? So 139 is the 34th prime number. Mr. Long is 34. And her name sums to 49 when you use the alphabet backwards with the rules of numerology. But this guy is 49 years old. So, I mean, you could say, oh, well, a lot of people say this stuff's a reach, you know. But, I mean, whether it's a reach or not, what are the odds of the numbers popping up? These numbers. These specific numbers. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, say what you may, You can say, oh, there's 4 ciphers. I mean, I mean, it's not as complicated as people make it seem. 4 ciphers compared to, I mean, when I first started, I didn't know any of this stuff. I was clicking all this stuff. I had like 30 ciphers open. Now I've kind of like, grew a little bit and learned how to kind of decode a little more properly. I wouldn't say, you know, I'm the best thing going out here. But look, Asians 91. See Asian 91. Paul Andre Michaels, who was one of the Asian people who died, 91. 71 is the 20th prime number, and this happened, on a day with 20 date numerology. 3 plus 17 is 20. So, again, 58th prime number. I'm sure there's stuff with that too, if you look hard enough. I'm just trying to look for surface stuff just so, anyone who is new or on the fence or, thinks this stuff is a joke. I mean, maybe it is a joke. Maybe this stuff, I mean, these stories, very, they very well might be fake. They may not be real. And, unfortunately, people have been getting duped. Look at that. Paul Andre Michaels, 161. Hate crime, 161. Huh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it just goes on and on and on. Mr. Long is 83, murder's 83 and 38. It's things like that. It is things like that. 83 is the 23rd prime number, and there is a 23 date numerology down there, but again, I try to focus on these top numerologies. I stop at the yellow. So, day of the year, days left in the year, and then, 3 plus 17, that's kind of where I stop. Those 7 or 8. But, yeah, so that's what this is, I think. And, people who aren't aware of this knowledge, I was one of them once upon a time. And, I'd read these stories and I'd always feel like something was off. Like, how can you allow somebody, look at this, 83, 79, we've seen the 79 somewhere. Mr. Long is 79. Woodstock, Georgia, 79 and 83. Unbelievable. But I mean, like, the thing is like, there's no way that all this stuff is a coincidence. That's the point of these videos, is to try to break the people who think this stuff is all coincidental every time. I mean, the only way that people come on here and argue with people who understand this knowledge are A, trolls, or B, paid government informants, or something along those lines, like Agent Smiths in the Matrix. That's basically what it is. I mean, it's paid people to make you think you're crazy, and you're not crazy. You know, the crazy thing is people are crazy for not looking for the truth. That's what I think is crazy. But at the end of the day, who am I, right? So I'm just matching numbers, I guess, right? Anyways, I wouldn't look at these stories and get all bent out of shape. It ain't worth your energy. So I like to call them energy vampires. People feed off of people's low vibrations. If they can get, a lot of people, and a lot of people is the masses, to a low vibration, that's energy. That's like food. That's a food source. So, you know, don't give in to that. Don't falsely idol these worship these idols, and invest all your time and money into their music and shit and this and that. Like, it's just what it is, man. All right, guys, I'm done ranting. See you later.